Hey everybody, I know it's been a while since I posted last, but I've been really busy in my real life trying to find a new job and some personal things going on. So I'm just doing what I can when I can with the game. But I did something really cool that I want to share with you guys, and it is maxing out all the way to nightmare level on Expedition Beyond. And I know some of you have probably tried it, and it's like, well, if I don't have John or Cersei maxed or something like that, it's a pain in the butt. And not necessarily. I mean, I think it does take a certain amount of paid commanders to be able to get there, especially at gold level. You need them at gold level to be able to successfully make it all the way to the end. But I don't think you really need any of the big total attack commanders that are really expensive because I don't. I only got the first level of Daenerys and I'm stopping at that. Um, so the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you're all geared out for war. And what that means is you want to check your talents, all war, okay? Your gear, all war gear, and your badges, all war badges. So those are the first things, and you want your lord to be your main lord that you usually do your attacking with. I always choose Enzo because I'm a rebel leader. I go after rebel leaders pretty hard, so Enzo is a cornerstone for that. But another thing you should do is get Hall of Faces. So if you execute a lord, you get your Hall of Faces buff, and that will increase your total attack by, I think it's like 38%, minus 38%. Yours may be a little different if you've done a little more research on Hall of Faces. Um, I haven't. Uh, at my current level of Hall of Faces is 38%. But you want to get a Hall of Faces buff, and if your castle is level 25 and your dungeon is level 25, then you'll want to get a prisoner also. Because what that does is when you have a prisoner in your dungeon, it also gives you a buff as long as you have that lord in your dungeon. So what that means is, so the highest level lord imprisoned will give this army attack bonus associated with the level. Right, so if I had a level 60 lord in my dungeon, it would be 30% that it would give me to total attack. Right now that's 56. My alt is 56, and that would be 23%. I don't have Hall of Faces going right now, but I'm going to try it and see if I can do it without Hall of Faces. So if you guys may need it, I may not, but we'll see. We'll see how it turns out. So you want to have Hoff, you want to have a Lord in your dungeon, you want to have all war talents geared for war and everything, and you want to make sure that your dragon, your main attacking dragon, has the right battle skills, right? You don't want any gathering skills or any production skills on this dragon because you're going to use those. You're going to use that dragon in your expedition beyond. So when we're done with that, if your kingdom offers to share the Lord Commander buff, a title, then I suggest grabbing that as well. Uh, it will certainly help because any total attack you can get on top of what you already normally would have is going to benefit you even more. I don't have that either right now, but again, let's see what happens. So this was my method and I did it successfully, but I also had the Lord Commander buff and I had Hall of Faces and I had a dungeon, a Lord in my dungeon. And I did it relatively easy um, with a harder set. And what I mean by that is every day these opponents in Expedition Beyond refresh, and I had a much harder set than what is showing right now. And not many people know this, but you can look to see what your opponent has by clicking these glasses, the magnifying glass here, and they'll show you what's in their defending army. So you know kind of exactly what to send to counter it because counters work the best in this. Um, first thing you'd want to do is go to the very end and check your ending opponent. Okay, ending opponent has everything but everything, all a cav. So naturally you want to save your spears to the end because you're going to need them to get past this guy. Okay, so we got spears that we need for this guy. We've got the majority of infantry, so you want cav for this guy. And you could go infantry and you could go cav, maybe a little bit of both on this. And what I do is I determine what troop type commander I'm going to send um, by the amount of commanders that that particular person has deployed. So there's 2 infantry and 2 spear. So I could go 2 infantry would probably be better than going 2 cav to counter these two infantry. Because infantry, if I send all infantry to this, then they can't be countered by anything other than Lyanna. But if I send cav to this person to defeat him in Expedition Beyond, he's got 2 commanders that are spear that can counter. So I would, the safer bet is going with infantry with these guys. So we've got spear for the last. We're going to save our spear for the last. We're going to try and save a few good cav commanders for this guy. And we'll save some good infantry commanders for this guy. This guy is going to be a bit of a struggle, but we'll see. So first, start by attacking. And the first thing you want to do is get rid of all of your commanders that it automatically defaults up here. Pick your dragon, that's your strongest dragon. And you want to use your bow commanders first, because bow commanders can't be countered, so it doesn't matter what's showing here. Um, and we'll see how far we can get our bows to progress us before we actually have to start thinking about our formation. Good, let's hit him again. So far, so good. At around 4 or 5, it starts to become a little bit of a struggle. Looks like it's gonna take me farther than I anticipated. Oh yeah, very easily won. Starting to get some health down on these commanders, but that's okay. We'll keep going until they totally die. Okay, so seven tore him down, but that's okay. We'll keep going with our bowman commanders until they're dead, because we want to get as much of them gone before we have to start thinking about counters as possible. These guys will kill him. Okay, so now we're at 8. Wow, Bowman's killing it. 9. All right, that was much easier than I thought it was going to be. So now we're at 10. So we'll go ahead and finish out our Bowman commanders. These guys will get slaughtered. CCK. No more Bowman commanders. Well, I got Simon. Let's throw him in there till he dies. Okay. So the proper counter with this of this formation would be spear. So let's start with spear. That's interesting. Okay. Let's go Hector in front, and then Arslan. So it's straight spear on straight calf, and it and that did it. And that's how you progress through the stages of Expedition Beyond. Now, just because you get your ass kicked on one stage one day doesn't mean that you won't necessarily you may win the next day, because like I said, all of these opponents refresh every day. So I had, when I completed nightmare level on Expedition Beyond, I had a much harder opponent on my last three because they were mixed troop types, so there really wasn't a really good counter for them. But as you can see, all of my bowmen took me almost all the way to level 8, I believe, or 9, right? So I wasn't able to I didn't have the opportunity to really think about what I was doing as far as counters, because my bowman just took me almost straight all the way to the end. So it was a really easy win for me. But if you follow this method, I think you will at least go up in whatever next level that you need to go up to in Expedition Beyond. But you remember, you always have to be spec'd for battle and have the maximum amount of buffs on that you can possibly get on. Hope this helps you guys, and I'll talk to you later. Have a good one.